And we're handing it over to Enasper for Ragnarok Battle Offline. Over to Enasper, impromptu session. Ragnarok Battle Offline. Hope everyone will enjoy, and you can count down.
Thank you very much.
And you can count
so
down.
I have to show this screen because we needed to show our stat distribution, and the minimum requirements for this is just Dex 10, Agi 10, Strength 20, but we're going to dump everything to Strength anyways, and this is Steel level 2. Alright, so this is just character creation. We needed ARPG.me, or ARPGME. So almost mismenued there. And run starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So this
Wonderful.
is...
Good luck on this.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Good luck on
so this is Ragnarok Battle Offline, the offline version of the very popular game Ragnarok Online. However, we don't get to have job changes. We're kind of just stuck with whatever we have. And of course, this is a 2D game versus a 3D game. I have to wait for these slimes to spawn. The game is telling us we're bad, and they're just raining slimes on us. There's a knight in the background. He's having some fun. Everyone's hanging out in Prontera. Ah, Lunatic, get out of here. Got some Lunatics, some Fabres, good old Prontera monsters. Now we're playing the Female Thief because arguably this is the second fastest versus the fastest. Normally you would play the 1, 2, 3. These are Willows, and we're just going to combo them quickly. So normally the fastest category would be female swordsman, just because Magnum Break hits practically the entire screen and they do a ton of damage based off of strength. So you pretty much just strength abuse the game, though it does cost a sizable amount of SP to use. But yeah, they're just map wipes. However, they have a very limited number of skills to use, very limited number of stats distributions that they have to work with. And I just find Female Thief more enjoyable because there's a lot more tech involved. Assuming I don't get kicked by this, oops, by this Elder Willow. Yeah, so this game likes to have a lot of drops on the floor. Though because we have 0 or 1 vitality, our stat growth is just our health growth is just gonna be really bad. And we're just gonna deal with this rocker for a moment. Bit of a rough fight getting hit a couple of times there, but that's okay. We do have 1,000 health, significantly more than what you would expect this game to give you in the original Ragnarok Online. Normally you have somewhere... That's tell you about audio warning. Get out of here. Get out of here. You just have fun beating this guy. Yeah, so the game actually puts him at 99 vitality, so you always do 1 physical damage, but he has 0 intelligence. So his magic resistance is awful, and if you're playing a mage, you can just have fun beating the crap out of him. Now the enemies are dropping those mushrooms or spores. Their caps are full of teeth, and they bite you. Nothing crazy going on here. Just slowly inching our way to the right like many video games and side-scrollers do. And then we're gonna hug her face on this screen, because it's faster. Now we have to deal with the snail. And if we just kick him twice with 2 heavy kicks and then hold down into a slide, 3 of these are good enough. Now, you can fit another one in there and try to squeeze it in, but the risk of hitting the shell, if you don't have pretty much perfect input, it causes somewhere around 400 to 500 damage, and it does physical, so it's gonna hurt a lot because we have 0 or 1 vitality. Now we're gonna do some aerial abusing here. And we're just gonna do a lot of dagger dives and resetting, and then do more dagger dives. Now we are purple, which means we're poisoned. But that's okay. We will just suck up this poison. As a thief, we do have the ability to detox, but we will not be getting that. Wait for the animation to finish, which I didn't. Oops. Oh well. So this is an eclipse. This is a giant bunny, otherwise known as the giant lunatic. And as cute as this thing is, this thing does hit like a truck. Now we don't want to get hit by those puffballs flying around, just because it reduces our agi by 10. They sort of changed that in the base game. Here's a charge attack that just does a ton of damage if we're not paying attention. 2, 3. Not a bad fight. Missed a dagger dab, but we managed to pull through. Pressing the wrong button. So what we did there was don't save the replay, and the confirmation was yes. So that was a little weird. Now, we do want to have stat distributions here, but we're going straight into 2 because the growth is so small that we're just going to skip that. But once we finish stage 2, we'll go back and deal with our stat distributions. So we only gained 1 level, which is a sizable amount of stat points because you get 2 skill points every level and somewhere around 10 or so, 10 to 15 stat points. And the stat points are not 1 for 1. They do progressively get more and more expensive the more you, the higher your stats are. So these are little chicken things or pickies. And just get melted. Oh wait, This is a shell picky. It's a picky. The shell on it. And it only has 10 HP. That shell did not protect it at all. Ah, it's crying now. I feel bad. That's okay. It walked. It managed to get out, unlike its unlike all the other pickies. Nice scorpions here. You have to hit the white portion to deal damage. Nope. Slightly off. 2, 3. Okay. Just gonna rub our face on the right side again. I was hoping to get that recovery off and hit him, but walked a little too far to the left. And we're having a hard time with them just pathing in very awkward situation. Very awkward pathing. So this game is pseudo-random. AI do travel left and right at random intervals, but the distances are also limited. So if they sort of travel a certain distance, they will face the other way and then travel again. And timers sort of, yeah, just kind of pseudo-random. Now, mini-bosses, on the other hand, like this golem here, this melee golem, they're scripted, and this is a ranged golem. Though, in the game, they're just always the same. We're going to take a hit intentionally, cover to get iframes, and then just do a bunch of dagger dives to reset until we hit the ground. Well, for some reason the game didn't give me air recovery. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. This guy did not want to stay on the right-hand side. Stacked on top of one another. Now, there is a mini-map on the top of the screen. It's very difficult to see on stream, but they're essentially like pixel, like on screen to let you know where the enemies are and what size. So they're like yellow, not yellow. The red 2x2 pixels are players, while the larger one, might be visible on stream, but it's the larger 3x3 pixels are large enemies. And then we have 1 pixel green enemies. In this case, it's very useful for this particular section. It is difficult to see on stream, but you're supposed to use your minimap to look at sand dunes, to look past sand dunes to see the little ants that are there. Little Andres. And this guy's being a real jerk. Once again, we're just gonna rub our face on the right-hand side. Come on. These guys are also random whether or not they want to travel left or right. Being very uncooperative. Normally you just sweep across the map like this and get them all. Here we go into the mini-boss of this stage. Though the golem was a mini-boss, I'm gonna say this one's the real mini-boss. This is a Hode. Now, I haven't spoken about the version differences that are in this. So, there is EX0, which is the version I'm running, and then there is EX1 and EX2. EX2 and EX3. And the difference is that there are balances that were done in this game. The further you get, more dungeons to go through. And this guy's not traveling the direction I want it to. It's really a 50-50 if he wants to go left or right. We're just kind of hugging our side of the wall here to try to figure out what he's doing. There we go. Slightly dead, but that's fine. So there's EX0, 1, 2, and 3. So they do a lot of balancing, a lot of enemies doing more damage, players doing more damage, enemies having more health as you go down to further expansions to sort of make it a more of an enjoyable beat-em-up experience. But we're playing on the vanilla version, or EX0 in this case. Okay, apparently we didn't get hiding. That'll explain what I forgot to do. Not a big deal. It gets bad when we die more than twice. But as it stands, the only reason why we're playing on the vanilla version or EX0 versus an EX3, even though EX3 is in English, is that we have found out that enemies actually hit a lot less in the vanilla version than it does in EX3, and this game is really enjoyable on a harder difficulty, though this game doesn't have a difficulty slider, so EX3 is the preferred version. It also comes with an English translated pack, so if anyone does want to play this, EX3 Expansion 3 does come in English. Hey Maya, how you doing? Didn't sweep fast enough. So you want to get rid of these large ants here because they have the ability to heal any nearby target for about 1,000 health. Wow, I'm getting owned by ants right now. I need you to face your butt this way, please. Gonna beat on the butt there for a little bit, clear out some mobs. Those tendrils actually do damage, so be careful when you see those. So now those arms are gonna be a lot of work to deal with. 2, 3, 4. Wait a little bit. Nope. I've made a mistake, but that's fine. We're just gonna do some backup strats here. And probably not get hit by the little ants here. Alright. Mash button, skip text. So this game does record and take pictures of your progress every time a screen sort of slows down, and this is sort of like a screen transition. But that's more like credit stuff. And it's quite nice of them to do that. Alright, so we go through stat distribution now. Everything goes into strength. We get that, which is steel, and then we have venom level 1, hiding level 1, and then venom. So that. Alright. Had to look up translations, but other than that, we're pretty much good to go for the rest of the game. Though we are going to go back and get some strength every once in a while. Alright, we're on Pain Cave. Spoopy skeleton times. And eggs. Don't question the eggs. Now, the gimmick with skeletons here is that if you do an attack and then let them hit the ground, they sort of fall into pieces and you can't hit them for a little bit until they recover. So you want to make sure you hit them as hard as you can or try to combo them out of it. And at this point we're going to do 2 crouch directional heavy attacks so that we can kick them into the air and then kick them down. So on the right there, that's a Bogan, and on the left is a Moonak. We really want to get rid of this Bogan as fast as possible. 2 reasons. It will not only hit us out of the air when we jump, so we just sort of sped up the Moonak's animation just by doing that. Just a little bit though, it's not that big of a deal. So we really want to take this Bogan out just because anytime that we jump when it's in an idle animation or like a state in which it's like waiting to do an attack, or damn it, I'm petrified. No! It was supposed to hit me out of that. Oh well. Anyways, so it can like do an attack. Oh. Alright, so the Bogan will kick you out of the air, and it's quite a lengthy animation to go through, while the Moonak will just sort of flail her arms around. Alright, so skeletons again, except skeleton archers. And let those animations finish, and then do a recovery, because we've got some iframes to abuse. More kicking. This one's a little on the boring side, because there's no way to go around it, other than to just do a bunch of attacks. Yep. Anyways. Yay, Agi up plus 10 Agi for the next 2 minutes or so. The downside about this dungeon is that every time the screen sort of turns dark, you have to wait for that animation to finish before we can continue. Here's some Hogans. We're gonna just enjoy jumping here. Oh no, we got hit. I'm kidding. We can get to crouch because the way that this particular scene works is that it locks onto the position of your character when the scene starts. And because we jumped, we can just duck under everything. The advantage of ducking is the equivalent of sitting in the original game. So if you sit down long enough, you gain a sort of exponential health regen and SP regen. And because of that, we have full health and full SP. Going straight into general. Yep. More dagger dives. Facing the wrong way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. Oops. I'm supposed to kick this guy, not do a forward heavy. Come on, come back here, you. Come back here, you. No! Soldier skeletons are not enjoyable. Oops. So soldier skeletons are not fun because they can just combo you out of things. And they also have backdash, or backslide, which makes them move a certain distance backwards and then get iframes during that. And then they can combo you right after, because these guys are really, really fast. Which is in line with the base stats that this game, or the original game has. As soldier skeletons have an unusually high crit rate, and also provide you with, I believe, what was it, 20 anti-demi-human card? Is that what it was? Someone can correct me. So now we're dealing with these... sorry, need to mash buttons. Okay, sorry about that. That'd have been loud. Needed to mash buttons. So we needed to deal with some Ninetales, and now the hardest boss in the game. A boulder. Escape, it says, as we're just gonna break this thing, because that's the same thing as escaping, right? I mean, it's practically the same thing. But we're gonna escape in the direction the boulder came in, because game logic. I'm in the shins. 2 more drops here. Oh, come back here, you. That was a very impressive backdash into a combo. Come back here, you. Come back here, you. Alright. I always forget that there's 2 more spawns, but it should be 4. Anyways. Now I get to deal with arguably the cutest mini-boss in the game, a Sohi. And Sohi is very dangerous, as she can easily deal 1,000 damage to us. I'm gonna actually wait for this one. There we go. Come back here, you! More shin kicking. Kicking eggs, because this game really wants us to kick eggs, even though they give an extremely poor amount of experience. Anyways, more drops. That's nice. We are missing a little bit of health, but that's okay. What are you doing there, Cat O' Traps, I see. We don't have to kill a single enemy here, so come on. Come on, double jump, there we go. Now the advantage of being a thief that you have a zip line built in is an air dash. Most jobs have an air dash, but not the more sort of clunky classes. So these are the fake Ninetales that we have to deal with quickly. Now these guys are completely random how they want to move. If they want to be jerks about it, they will be jerks about it. Something's not right with the controller setup. One of the buttons just aren't working right now. So this is kind of a problem. I will have to quickly deal with that by saving the game, quitting out. So we're gonna have to deal with some seriously slow backup strats here. Oops. Trying to see if it's actually bound to anything. It might not be. But that's okay. We still should be able to two-cycle this boss. Okay, come on. 2. Okay, still managed to two-cycle this boss. So I'm going to quickly save, see if I can open this config, switch the game will be muted for a little bit, and fix this small issue. So that save, game auto saves. Configs 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 1 moment, because we were supposed to do stat distribution. My controls don't work? It's just not working. Okay. 1 moment. Sorry about this, guys. We're doing it the best we can. Anyways, we still need strength. Hiding and envenom. Yeah, setting up my buttons. For whatever reason, button 4 isn't registering. Now we're in Orc Village. We're going to do a quick test here to see if it's registered, though it should be. If it's not, we will have to address an issue here. It's not. It's not registered. Well then, this is very unfortunate. Because even if it isn't registered, I still should be able to dodge, because dodge is built into this game. I may have to look at the skills again. Maybe I mistranslated one of them, but that's okay. These goblins are being real nice staying next to the wall, but it's also, I really wish they just sort of jumped straight at me instead of jumping through the wall. What? Okay, game. I guess the guy was not entirely on screen, which is a little weird. You on screen now? One, two, three, three. A bunch of orcs here, but really what we're after is the clothesline. Three. Now, our objective was just to beat up that clothesline, but we still get experience for dealing damage to enemies, so we're just going to take advantage of this and just beat on things and gain a little bit more experience. Though the experience is a small amount, it is sort of a safety precaution to get a little more experience, as overflowing damage value still contributes to the experience that you gain. Two. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, this is an orc lady. I hope you all enjoy this lady. She's a beautiful orc with those succulent lips. And we've dealt with her. So now we're going to actually hug the left side of the screen here and mash this melee and the weak attack button, because enemies are just going to spawn behind us, and we really don't want enemies behind us at this very moment. That's the last goblin we're waiting for. And now we're just going to sweep everything to the right side of the map. And don't worry about the stuff spawning behind us, because they have to spawn in based off of the unit limit. So we clear that out. And now we're just going to clear everything else up on this bridge. Did I say everything on this bridge? I lied. So there's just a ton of enemies that decide to swarm in for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Game just ate like 3 inputs there. There we go. Hoping to go over the goblin and not get hit by that, but that's okay. We still have plenty of health to work with. This is a fun part. Best part. You guys. I'm glad you're all having fun in chat. Now, there's a screen transition here, so I don't actually have to be on the right side of the map. It's a little nice thing to do. There's a ton of orcs here and a ton of orc archers in the background just raining on us. So we're just going to sweep everything to the right side of the map. So the advantage of sweeping is that it has a really big hitbox and allows us to hit some of the arrows. Unfortunately, hitting the arrows also means the hit stun gets kicked in. We also have like taking damage hit stun as well. But it does help us with our health pool, as we'd have 1 vitality and a very slow health regen, so we can just sort of squeeze out as much health as we can get. That's a good thing. Now we have more goblins, and a wall to break, and a well that they constantly spawn from until this wall is broken, so we're going to ignore them. And these guys decided to be on the far left-hand side of the map. It's fine. Screaming for help, even though nothing is really stopping this young lady from screaming help in this room. Nothing. Game really likes eating inputs. 3. Gonna sweep across, please sweep across the map. Yo, wow. Haven't seen that happen in a while. So it is possible for them to charge into you while you attack, and you sort of just hit each other at the same time, because the hitbox overlap with each other. And it's a more common thing with AoEs, but that charge is, that's nice. So anyways, that orc is just panicking right now. Realizes that we're badasses and needs to run for their life. Screen shake. Ignore him, he's not important. So once again, anytime we have a bunch of enemies that have a ton of health, we're just going to sweep across the map, group them up here. Enjoy having a lot of audio coming through right now. Now we're going to clear the map again. It's unfortunate. Now, we would normally hide there, but for whatever reason, my D button isn't working. Thanks, game? Wow, these high orcs are causing a lot of problems. They normally aren't this much trouble. Yeah, these high orcs have caused a lot of trouble. I'm already upset that I've died twice. Normally, this is a no-death run. But not having a D button is really hurting. You guys. I'm pretty sure I put 1 point into hide, but that's the thing. I might have put it into backslide, but if I had put it into backslide, I would need level 1 improved dodge. So that's why I'm like super upset right now that I don't have the stats I need, or the skills I need, and I was supposed to follow him across the map. Also, it doesn't help that I'm dead. Okay, I'm not dead. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick stat check at the end of this. So that was high orc. 2-minute time. So a lot of these animations, a lot of the death animations are pretty good. Most of this game, I say most of this game is well animated. This is hiding. I don't have a level of improved dodge, for whatever reason. I mean, I can turn it down on my end if you guys want. Okay. So somehow I missed improved dodge level 1. Now this run is working. This will be fine. So Orc Hero was the first boss we would have encountered, or it's the first enemy we would encounter that would normally have dealt with Hyde. But this one, this dungeon in particular is the one that we really need to deal with Hyde. And one of the Hydras canceled that animation because they have gigantic hitboxes for whatever reason. I'd really appreciate it if this game would stop sending these crabs with giant hitboxes that actually go further and further than they visually do. That's alright. Sweeping more enemies across the map. Two. Alright. Took a bit of damage, but we're good. So I didn't speak about the, I did not speak about the life system in this game. It uses Yggdrasil leaves. And we actually have them on the top right-hand corner there. It also comes with Zenny, arrows, and Yggdrasil leaves. And everybody shares these 3 stats when you play with them. Well, unfortunately, the game only has local play. Now, it is faster just to tank than it is to put the effort into dodging them, because we can actually do a recovery in a direction and then land right on top of them. Because these Hydras, those tentacles, yeah, they just have ceiling-high hitboxes. It's just absolutely insane. And they can also hit across the map, which is also kind of stupid, but they don't hit very hard, so it's not the end of the world. Gonna duck here for a little bit. Screen shake! Craze owned me. There's always like a 50-50 chance whether or not you can go halfway across the screen. And this... I lost that gamble. So because there's so many of them, you get locked into a hit stun, and that causes you to sort of stop animations partway. 2, 3. Get some iframes there to abuse. Now, all these frogs are on a timer. 2, 3. There is a way to manipulate them, but once again, AI just kind of move however they want. You can't really control how far they move, but you can definitely control what direction they face when they shoot you, because they target the player closest to them. And in this case, we're player 1, and we're the only players in this game, so... And we're going to cancel some dagger dives. Throw in another Envenom in there for about 5,000, 6,000 damage, throw some more dagger dives, and chase it across the map, because this thing likes to be a jerk. Also, giant frog. Ignore the theta frog, as it likes to be a jerk sometimes. But it was relatively nice today. Now, Plankton. One of the more annoying enemies of the game, because they have active hitboxes at all times. So you gotta make sure that your hurt box is further than their hitbox. Dodged on. Just like that. Kind of annoying. I'm gonna deal with some of these crabs first. Those Fens can wait, as they have significantly less health. They also like to hover to the bottom of the map, or at the bottom of the screen, and then perform their attacks. Oops. Supposed to hide there. That's okay. One thing about this game that we don't want to do, and happens more often than we would like to, in terms of a speedrun sense, are things called perfect blocks and perfect dodges. So in this game, when you get a perfect dodge, you get extended iframes and can generally perform the next attack without taking damage, so you sort of have super armor, I guess. However, because perfect dodge and perfect block animations, they actually last longer in terms of hit stun, which is about twice as long. And you can imagine not being able to move for twice as long is kind of annoying. So want to avoid perfect dodges and perfect blocks if we can. Also, mermaid. And this is a pretty good time to try not to get perfect dodges. Good fight. We also got the lucky Envenom proc, which deals a percentage of the target's maximum health up to a certain number. In our case, we were doing about an extra 200 damage because our mermaid friend does not have a lot of health. Normally the cap is about 500 damage. No, not the shockwaves. Curse you. Anyways, those waves are just on the screen forever. They just go across the map and cause a lot of trouble. So I need to line myself up just right. And we got it, but we also faced the wrong way, so we deserve that one. But we still got it. That's the important part. So what this sage is saying, this is a sage, might be a wizard. They're saying they're bad mouthing us, saying like, "Why'd you steal my mobs? You know, why? I'm gonna report you to the GMs." But you know, he's dead. He's got his own he's got his own problems. Boss carrier approaching. So this is one of the more boring fights, though on an interesting level, because we do need to block. And it sort of helps teach us that there's chain blocking involved, where we have a block meter at the bottom of the screen, typically below the character, like at bottom of the screen, and we just need to hold the block button and take a hit. Now, I am blocking prematurely for the tentacle that's off screen because it has varying speeds that it can start wind-ups on. And it can just decide to ruin your day if you're not blocking it, because that thing hits like a truck. So I'd rather just not take the damage than to take the hit, but also deal maybe an extra 1,000 damage. This thing... Wrong cycle, my bad. So we take a hit there, and this goes back over here. Okay. That curls up back into a ball. Not really sure how those things fit in there, but they do. Now, we managed to get these guys before they started shooting shockwaves at us, which is good. Don't want to have those covering the screen. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get this crab before he decides to ruin our day. Ignore the bots in the background. They're doing very bot things with their teleporting and their bot commands of saying sorry for attacking another player's target. Don't mind that. Is this guy gonna come down? They did not want to come down. Yeah, well, they're just saying sorry every time they hit each other's targets. And this is a Freoni. We're actually going to run to the right side of the map here and wait for it to do a certain set of animations. Now, we should be in the right position. So he's going to go past us, back to this wall, and top back. Okay. 2, 3. Okay, it just ate that input. The game does that sometimes. That's a perfect dodge that we don't want. This isn't guaranteed safe spot. It ate another? Excuse me? The game usually doesn't eat this many inputs. Bad timing on that. This is pretty much just a shark. There we go. So we just have to duck in front of it and do a bunch of weak attacks. Now, this was the instance of we do weak attack amplification. As strong as it is, because normally that Envenom would do about 5,000 damage to 6,000 damage, it was doing about 15,000. And it is an exponential growth. The problem with it is that once you drop a combo, you drop the combo. So it is better just to finish what you've started than it is to sort of try to go for a one-shot. Is it faster to one-shot it? Yes. Is it guaranteed to happen? Absolutely not, because you actually have to crouch under that spitting rock boulder section, and it is possible to get hit when crouching. I just got very lucky and did not get hit. Yes. So now we're in Geffen, and we're in Geffen Tower, dealing with poison spores, which, as you can expect, do poison damage. These mushrooms are very annoying, as they have a ton of health for their difficulty. And then they also decide to hop at varying heights, which makes it very difficult to combo them. And they also have this sort of hit stun, where they just like flop around on the floor a little bit when they're invulnerable. And the reason why the sort of invulnerability flopping around state happens is because they spend the majority of their time in midair. And so what that flopping animation is really them recovering from falling down. Wow, I kicked right over a Popo ring. Am I in the right spot? No, slightly over here. Okay, that cleared about half of them. That was just a visual indicator in the background to let me know if I'm in the right spot. That was a pretty good Envenom, but we still have cleanup to do. This is where the female swordsman would have made quick work of them with that map clearing. Alright, I shouldn't be running, because it's a map transition. Bridge section, if you missed it before, and in the Orc City, or Orc Village, then you're going to see more bridge. I hope you really like bridges, because we're going to let go of the controller for about 5 seconds. Give it a nice stretch. That was fun. Alright, we're going to do that again. Because hit stuns, they're dumb. Yep. These guys would just please be dealt with quickly. There we go. Not bad, not bad. The game really likes to scream at us and tell us to go right. Progression never happens left. It's a real shame. I'm gonna hug this screen over here. Please come closer. You going to travel. There we go. There we go. So 1, 2, and dagger dive fun happens now. Cause, excuse me, game? Get out of here, Wisps. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're just gonna dagger dive him for fun. Now, this Greater Wisp does have physical damage reduction and is weak to magic, but we're a thief. We don't have any magical abilities, so we're just enjoying ourselves dagger diving the rest of this health bar and sort of just juggling this animation here and trying not to get hit by those fists because they do hurt quite a bit. Rubber face on the right side of the screen here again, because we really like to rubber face on the screen. Heading down a flight of stairs. So the interesting thing about the EX versions and the vanilla version of the game is that the wall textures are a little bit different, and in certain parts of the game they added the wall texture in the background, which was a nice touch, because it was kind of bland. We're stuck in a spider web. You're wondering why we're not doing anything. Boom. I really want to deal with these spores, because there's going to be more of them. And this guy is unusually high for a spider. Normally he's about half a jump height up, but this guy really wanted to hang up the top. And wait for this guy to recover. Come back here, you. Loot everything on the floor before it despawns. Listen to what the game has to tell us and just go. So that dust really screwed things up, but that's okay. They're being relatively nice in grouping up. Did I say they were being nice? Yeah, they just hit me a bunch of times, but that's okay. Just trying to not deal with getting hit stun, because these guys really like doing this. Very unfortunate that there was a hit stun there. Couldn't really do anything about that. That was somewhere about 500 to 600 damage taken for no reason whatsoever. And as mentioned, we don't have a single point of vitality, so health pickups are near negligible, health regen is near negligible, and we are taking essentially full damage. Shoutouts to wall texture. Is a nice wall. So this is our friendly neighborhood marionette. Yep, just break it, but in reality, we're just gonna do this. Nothing particularly special here. Now, you could dagger dive, but the problem with doing that is that the marionette likes to walk around, I guess you'd call it walking. And that's a very small hitbox to work with. But if you're playing an archer, it's a fun job to sort of deal with the marionette quickly, because you can just rain arrows with arrow shower, and it'll do quick work of it. We got that spider, that's good, so we don't get slowed and run through that web. And we're just cleaning up these whispers. 2, 3, 4. Going down some more stairs. So we should be on floor 3 right now. And if I remember correctly, we're fighting Jack. Yep. Friendly Jack. Bow our heads. We get barely enough time as a thief to actually bow our heads. We're gonna actually back it up to a wall. Okay, we're good to go. So Jack likes to be a friendly guy here and let us beat on him while he throws his top hat. Very, very dapper of him. So we sort of did a iframe abusing, just being invulnerable while he attacks. And hopefully he backs up to this wall. Oddly enough, his hat does not turn purple when he throws it, so that was a small thing about this game that it's kind of weird. Good guy Jack, let's bow our heads. Now these things, they are mists. In the base game, they were very tanky, and they had a very high chance of just blocking certain attacks, which is why they have sort of shields flying around. They had a very good card, and I can't remember what it was. I'm sure someone in chat knows. Two, three, four. Just kind of comboing them out. You really don't want to do heavy attacks on the mists because anytime you do a heavy attack or kick them into the air, they fall down, collapse, and spawn 2 shields, which can be a huge problem if you're a slow class like Merchant, or you're someone that depends on getting a very heavy hit like an Archer's Charged Arrow. They'll just eat that arrow, or they'll eat that heavy axe from the Merchant, or a heavy hammer swing from the Merchant, because it's guaranteed to block a hit. Doesn't matter how much damage it does. But fortunately for us, we're playing in Thieves, so we've got a lot of fast attacks. We just make quick work of that shield. This is probably the derpiest horse we've seen. This is Nightmare. Really likes to run around, and I'm not joking about that. Really likes to run around. Perfectly timed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're just gonna hide. Normally you would block this, but block animations are a little on the boring side. We might be able to squeeze in one more. There we go. If the horse wasn't purple enough, he's very purple now. And the game decides to be a real jerk, because they threw in a mini-boss to then throw you directly into a boss. This is Doppelganger. Hey Doppel, we're actually going to bow our heads for a little bit. Not attack. Now go in. What he just did? That was Endurance. Normally Endurance doesn't have an AoE attack. We're actually going to wait here for a bit. Oh yeah, horses that came back. Forgot about that. When I mean forgot, I mean nay. Overswing, underswing, more Envenoms, and then we're gonna deal with this. Other, because we don't know what attack it's doing. Did not dodge in time, but that's fine. We wouldn't have had enough SP anyways. Squeeze another one in because we can. Ah, misplaced that time. Magnum Break, wait for that, because that's got a really long active hitbox for no good reason. 1, 2, 3. Alright, good fight. Couldn't handle getting dodged on. Oddly enough, his sword disappears. And it's just a regular two-handed sword. More about the game saving, that's all that little screen says. Lots of Caphras just like to shake their hips in this section here. Put some stats in there, max out Envenom, give ourselves more dodge. We really don't need anything other than dodge. So the strength does help in the long run, especially with the stage that's coming up. Stage 7, with the mystery scythe-wielding creature. Also, this knight holding a spear, very much bullying a Poporing, also, a Poring, and for whatever reason, he cannot do 50 damage for the life of him, because that's how much health Porings have in the base game. So, somehow this knight has negative strength, because that Poring is never gonna die. Yes, Hunter Flies. very aggressive enemies in the original game, but in this one, they're tame. They don't attack very often, but they do occasionally get super armor and have instantaneous attack hitboxes whenever they feel like it. So the reason why they were so deadly in the base game was because they not only moved really, really fast, like they moved across your screen in probably half a second kind of fast. They hit really hard, have a really high agility, so they have high dodge and high attack rates. And then they sort of just ruin casters' days because you can get hit stunned out of channeling or casting abilities. Oh hey, it's our friendly knight that we met on stage 1. Now you can duck under this guy, but the hit stun from these... I deserve this. Oh yeah. Enjoy that for a moment. Wait for these guys to go off screen. So you can duck under him, but it's an extraordinarily tight window. Like it's ridiculously tight to be able to press the dodge button or even jump over these. They have a name. Starts with an A. Can't remember it. We're gonna just call them caterpillars for the time being. But these caterpillars, very tanky in this game. Not as tanky in the original. I don't know why they decided to do that. Probably because they make it bigger. This guy's also screaming at us, saying, "I can't believe you killed my mobs. I'm gonna report you." Also, remember that wizard we met a while back? Yeah, he's also mobbing these things for some reason, even though they give really bad experience. So can't hold aggro for the life of him. Can't do it. Just dropping it right on us job 1 lobies here. And mind you, we're only what, level 9? Level 8? No, we're level 9. We're like level 9. And the average base level you would be to job change to a class 2 is about 40 to 45. He's also screaming at us again, goes, "Why would you do this? I'm gonna report you to the admins and the GMs, and you're such a jerk." Well, maybe if he managed to hold aggro or actually casted Blizzard for once in his life, he would be able to kill half the mobs he decided to lure. Not enough hype. I was hoping this guy would do a swirl to drop a spider web, because... what? Alright. Game really wants to be eating inputs today, huh? Should slow down on those rotations. Come back here, you! No. Gonna go to the right, and then be forced. Oh no! What could this be? It's a petite! Do not be fooled by its cute appearance. This thing hits like a truck. I like how the game is like, dodge the attack by crouching! And it's like, it's way too late, buddy. No one's gonna read that text. That was an Envenom combo into a recovery Envenom. Oh. Okay, could have gone better. So just dodge it. Just dodge it. Now the interesting thing about this fight is that this green petite here actually remembers where in the combo chain or attack chain it was using. So once we deal with this as fast as we can, I was really hoping that this would, maintain health recovery. So this is a Sky Petite, that's an Earth Petite. So this Earth Petite here actually remembers the combo it was on, and it is possible to be chained by both of these and get absolutely destroyed because it's an undodgeable attack. So like the Sky Petite might be raining a laser that sweeps down, and then you have the Earth Petite doing an attack that rains up, and you're just guaranteed to get hit. One of the more enjoyable sections of a Thief. We just get to dance on these floras for a little bit. Really enjoying the Sky route here. Loot everything we can before everything despawns. Mandragoras. These guys are much nicer in comparison to their friendly water variant Hydras. They can grab you, and the grabbing doesn't do a lot of damage, but it has a huge amount of stun into it. It also kind of throws you into the air, so you have to deal with a pretty sizable recovery, and I don't believe you can recover from it under normal means. Ah, no! Well, we're poisoned now. Grab them grapes. So we're headed north of Frontera, even further than we were before, which oddly enough is counterintuitive because Frontera, our stage 1 was Frontera, but we were headed south to fight an Eclipse. But oddly enough, Eclipse spawns to the north of Frontera, so the game's not canon, but what are you going to do about it? But to be fair, we're also going just right, rather than actually going in a full circle to head north. But in this particular case, we're headed north-north, and that's the city of Frontera in the background. There is a clearing up ahead, and the guys who worked on this did a very accurate job of what the city looks like. So shoutouts to them. If you can have the time to look at the city right now, it's a good place. Frontera is a really good place. But once again, as I mentioned, Hidden Temple is north, and where that giant building in the background is north. But we're south, so yeah. Frickin' doing the fast stabby attacks. But you know what? I too can fast stab. Yeah, we're level 9s and we're fighting a probably level 80 boss right now. Gonna spawn a bunch of hornets on us, and we do need to kill as many hornets as possible because it does eat up hits from Mistress. So being able to clear as many as we can. These ones in particular don't count towards it. Good fight. Aside from getting hit, good fight. Forgot, don't run. So, certain classes do have the ability to run and dash, and in order for a screen transition to happen, you have to be in an idle state. So fortunately for us, there's very little consequence if we decide to dash or be running at the side of the screen. While certain other classes like archers have a very long recovery animation. So we're going to do some damage to that, and then head over here. And actually going to be on the right side. Ideally, you would want to spawn all three. We're going to wait for this poison class to go through. But they can be jerks like this and not want to have... Nope, early on that. And we're going to see if we can recover off of this. Doing some mid-air envenoms. Game's really eating inputs today, huh? Normally this isn't a problem. Right, monkeys and hedgehogs. Monkeys aren't so bad. They do like to swing. But these freaking porcupine hedgehogs. I think they're porcupines. Probably more like porcupines. They're just awful, especially if you're playing a thief, because they have 1 frame hitboxes. If you're just on it, it will hit you. And unfortunately, we are playing the closest, the job with the shortest range, so it's pretty common to run into them. There are ways around it, like kicking them like this, but no guarantee. Sometimes you can just get hit from another enemy while doing this because you're very vulnerable at the amount of time that you have to recover. So at some point we're going to take an intentional death, but I'm going to try not to. More Envenoms, because Envenom is just going to go right through their armor, or at least most of their armor. So how these guys work is they sort of reduce it by a percentage and then plus a set value. So if you just want to hit them as hard as possible to just negate the set value. But only for heavy attacks. Now we're heading deeper and deeper into the hidden forest, or hidden temple. See, in that case, he was very nice. Also bears. Beware of bears. They hit very hard. They hit for like 700. And considering that we have 1400 health, that's it's more than I'm willing to afford. Or more than I am going to. Damn it, brains work. Alright, I had to think about that for a moment. Deal with that combo. Had to adjust my character just to get those 3 to get hit. So the rockers like to jump towards the player, so I needed to position myself correctly for that to happen. And then the bear was very nice, actually. They walk wherever they want to walk, and then they decide to just do whatever attack they want to do. Laura's really in the way for some of these maps. Just because you can't hit their torsos or their stems, you sort of plink off of them. And it's about the same length of having a perfect dodge or a perfect block. Hunters are being very nice today. Snake! We're gonna venom into that. Okay. Come. Nope. Snake, stop that. Wait, no, I was hoping to block so that if something hit me, I would be okay, but I guess it worked itself out. Trying to clear out the stage. With the spider webs in the background, you can always expect a second set of spiders to show up at some point. Always expect a second set of spiders to show up. Careful about these manti. They like to run across the map and sort of claw swipe you, but it's not like it does a lot of damage. It's that claw swipe sort of launches you into the air and you just have to wait for the fall animation. Game doesn't say it, but these are Baphomet Juniors. Cute little devils, aren't they? We're just gonna combo them. Nope. Can I get this in before he hits? Nope. Okay. Cute little devils. Everybody is dead here. Despite the guy standing up with this being supported by spears, just don't worry about that guy. Everyone is dead. Assume they are all dead. And this is Baphomet. So Baphomet's like a level 80 enemy in this game, and level 80 MVP. Except we're sort of fighting this thing at what, level like 9? So it's like, yeah, your level really doesn't matter at this point. So we're just trying to clear and hit stun the Baphomet Juniors because they can sort of be jerks about this. Now, the one thing that they changed from this game to EX versions, or the expansions, is that normally it does an attack and then immediately follows with another. But in the original version, it doesn't do that. So it does this meteor here, and then immediately after it would do the next attack. But in this case, they sort of just let that go. We really don't want to be underneath this thing. Ideally, you would want to hide under this. But hiding while an attack is going on, not ideal. Got really lucky with the improved dodge bonuses here. Oh, you walking to the right this time. Give him the ankles. This is our living proof that a level 9 thief can beat Baphomet. And everyone else is just kind of dead in the background over there. I don't want to save. Yes, I don't want to save. Right, so stage 7 is a really rough stage for a lot of players because not only do the enemies just have a much easier time hitting the player. I was supposed to put strength, but whatever, we're too late. We would have to go back to the main menu and deal with that. Oh well, it's a very small change. A very negligible amount of damage. Also, this guy does not know how to use a lance. I'm having this feeling that a lot of the knights in this game have no idea how anything works. So, yeah. What is going on? Because I don't ever want to do a backslide. Anyways, the guy has no idea how to use a lance. Now this thief in the background, using a regular sword. Stabbing with a regular sword, and probably doing no damage. One, two, three. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We have a wizard dead on the far left there, and that looks like a knight. Shoutouts to the priest. That's just kind of panicking in the background there. Has no idea what's going on. Many more dead people. You know, considering that there's a priest running around, you would think that at some point they would be revived. But nope. Okay. So unfortunately, they did not give us the good luck and jump right in front of us. So a few extra hits required, and I mean extra, I just mean this thing's dead. Forgot the AI changes from the third dungeon to this one. Other than the small distance in the pathing, nah, the AI doesn't change. Or sort of the fight doesn't change. So somebody threw something on the ground and started spawning these MPPs. Big oof. What is going on with these high orcs? They are really aggressive today. They usually aren't this bad. Wait for the shockwave, wait for that guy to do his belly flop. Bad assassin's having a heck of a time with those katanas. With the blacksmith over there with that chain whip. Do some AI here. So that skipped right into phase 2. We're just gonna do this for a little bit. Directly into phase 3, which is that time stop. And then it's going to loop back on its AI. So we want to have it back in that corner. Back in the corner, you. Sick texture. Quality game. Who is this mysterious person throwing branches on the floor? Once again, wait for him to do his endurance, then we go in. Ah, he bad lucked. Got bad luck and he healed. The heal is quite a sizable amount as well, because it's like 2,000. Then again, we're also hitting for about 6,000 to 7,000 anyways, so right into phase 2, which is good. Yay! Fastest time cleared. Yeah, remember the days when Dead Branch things just sort of owned everybody in town? I remember those days. There's a priest in the background with maximum agility plus haste on right now, just going ham with those fists. Everyone just dies. Anyways, that priest really deserves a shout out, because I remember when I played Ragnarok online and I had an Agi-based priest. Good times. But we're not here to talk about good times, we're here to talk about getting owned by every Baphomet and Baphomet Jr. in existence. This game really doesn't want to register input today. Okay, well, thanks for hiding like 3 times and then eating up all of my SP, but don't worry, we really don't need that much more. And because our SP pool is so low, we will end up picking up a lot of stuff. And it will be fine when we fight the true boss. Battle Priests. Shoutouts to Battle Priests, by the way. Probably has like 0 strength, but what are you gonna do about it? When monks didn't exist. Or taekwondos. It's a Kafra. Warning. So these Kafra clones are a real pain in the butt because they can choose to stay on the screen for as long as they want. But generally, they have like a script to travel one direction for a longer time than another. So eventually they'll walk off the screen. The game took pity on me. Nope. Come back here. Do your attack. You're supposed to do one very soon. Here we go. And it ate another input. I'm gonna hold on to this because we need them to be back here. That's okay. Fortunately for us, we just have SP regen. So the very easy tell for which is the real Caphra is generally that it turns around after it walks a certain distance. These daggers go in the direction Caphra is facing at the time, so we just had to deal with that. Time is coming up very shortly. So normally we would hit time on hit, but it's very difficult to do so. And time is coming up now. So that's Ragnarok. We get to watch some lovely credits. You guys can cut me out whenever you want.
Wonderful. Thank you, Enasper. Especially wonderful.
Thank you,
Enasper, for doing this impromptu. Yeah, that was a 126 from all of us for doing this impromptu. Yeah, that was a 126.33. Wonderful. And we'll go back to the intermission. And thanks again. We'll go back to the intermission with thanks again. See you next with Final Fantasy X.